one of the misconceptions around hedge funds in the market is that hedge funds invest in a black box, whereby no one knows how they generate their returns or what it is exactly that they are invested into. In actual fact, hedge funds invest in the same asset classes as your traditional managers, those being your bonds, equities, property, all the asset classes that we are used to, that are available to the general public. The only difference is that hedge funds have more tools to express their views on the market. So I'll use a ABC share as an example of a stock that I want to short or sell. So I go to the market and I borrow this share, which is currently trading at 200 Rand, and I believe that this share should be trading at 150. So I go to the bank, I borrow this share, and then I sell it to someone in the market at that price, which is 200 Rand. You must remember that I believe that this stock price will fall over time. When it does in fact happen that the price falls, I will then go back to the market and buy the stock at 150 Rand. And then effectively make a profit, the profit between the 200 Rand that I sold it at and the 150 that I bought it back at, and then I will then return the stock to the borrower, effectively locking in that profit of 50 Rand minus what I pay the borrower for giving me the stock. So that is a pure example of shorting a stock. Your traditional asset managers are not able to utilize that. So that's one advantage that hedge funds have over traditional managers. And then the other benefit of investing in hedge funds is that hedge fund managers are able to amplify their returns by using leverage. Now, leverage basically means that you borrow money to invest. So hedge fund managers are not limited to the amount of nominal money that they have at hand or their own capital. So if a hedge fund manager has a high conviction view on a particular stock and they just want to ramp up the exposure to that stock to make more profits from it, they're able to go to the banks or whoever and borrow money, and that boils down to leveraging up the positions. So this is also an instrument or a tool that is not available to your traditional managers. So this tends to benefit hedge funds over traditional managers. The other difference that hedge fund managers have compared to traditional managers is that they manage their funds against an absolute return benchmark, as opposed to the relative return benchmark that's applicable in the traditional space. So that basically means that a hedge fund manager really needs to prove their skill in managing money well and successfully doing so by posting positive returns, or what we then call absolute returns over time. So the three benefits are that hedge funds have more tools at their disposal to express their views, which results in them having a wider opportunity set in their disposal. Secondly, they can use leverage to amplify returns. And the third point is that hedge funds manage their portfolios relative to an absolute return benchmark, which is great for investors because obviously you know that you'll always have a positive return. So hedge funds are naturally less volatile compared to your other asset classes. For example, they don't participate in the same swings as your equities and bonds. And therefore, the inclusion of hedge funds in a portfolio reduces overall portfolio risk and results in better risk-adjusted returns. Secondly, hedge funds enhances your returns in a portfolio. So when you include hedge funds in a portfolio, your portfolio returns are enhanced. This is because hedge fund managers place a lot of emphasis on capital protection, which is also known as capital preservation. And then the third one would be that when you include hedge funds in a portfolio, it reduces the overall portfolio correlation to the market. So hedge funds are quite specialized. And while I said earlier on that they invest in the same asset classes as your traditional managers, hedge funds also use complex instruments and strategies, which require one to have the necessary know-how and understanding before they can use them. So by going the fund of hedge fund route, an investor taps into the expertise of the investment team, because obviously the team has the know-how. For an example, with us at Novara Investments, we cover the full universe of hedge funds in South Africa. We have regular interactions with these managers. We know them in and out. We know how they generate returns, how they are different to the other managers in the industry, risk management procedures that they have in place, all those important due diligence questions that one needs to satisfy themselves on before they invest. We make sure we cover these. And ultimately, the aim is for us to blend together portfolios of fund managers that complement one another. And in the end, will result in us delivering stable and smooth returns for our clients over time. By including hedge funds in their client portfolios, financial advisors benefit from the diversification benefit that is otherwise not available to your traditional asset managers. So ultimately, the benefit for clients is better risk-adjusted returns.